so glad you could join me here today. Today we're gonna do a nice little interesting painting. I think anyone should be able to do, even though I say that for every painting. But let's get started with today's painting. So let me run the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with me. While we're doing that, let me tell you what I got done up here. I have a 16 by 20 inch canvas, pre-stretched, double prime, and I added a thin layer of the liquid white. On top of the liquid white, well, no, it's just the liquid white. Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. So I have the liquid white on, makes the canvas liquid, ready to go. Now let's get started with today's painting. I really have no idea where we're going with this. Um, yeah. So let's get over here. Let's grab our brush and let's go ahead. It's going to a little bit of phthalo blue. Just tap on both sides of the brush to ensure even distribution. Let's come up here and let's have a pond. So pull outward in. I'm gonna do a Bob Ross style today. So just pull a little bit in. Just a little bit. Just pulling out a bit to keep some of the white out. Okay. Just gently go across and that's it. Now, let's go ahead. Let me grab a clean brush. Clean, dry 2-inch brush. And let me go into a little bit of alizarin crimson. Remember, both sides of your brush. Just by tapping, maybe a little bit of bright red. Let's come up here. Oh, I like that color. So just lightly. Just like so. Now, let's go ahead. Let me add a bit more crimson. There. Just like so. Now, let's go ahead. Let's go into some phthalo blue. Let's come up here. And I think just a regular old sky will cut it for today. Just like that. And I'm gonna tap a little bit more of the phthalo blue into my brush. Just to go ahead and darken those corners up a bit. Go across just to remove those brush strokes. And with the brush that I did the crimson with, I'm gonna beat the bristles since it has less paint, and I'm gonna blend it right here. Just softly blending out right here. Okay, now let's go ahead. What do I want to do? Let me grab a filbert brush. Let's go ahead with the filbert. I'm going to titanium white paint, and let's come up here. Let's put in a happy little cloud. Let's put in a nice cloud. Maybe it's not too noticeable today. Okay, now let's blend that cloud out. Corner of the brush and go in circles. You just want to blend out that base. Lift upward and go across. Just like that, you have a nice cloud going on. Now, let me grab a palette knife. Let's go into some ivory black, a little bit of Van Dyke brown. More black than brown. Let's go ahead and build us a nice big old mountain. Okay, let me pile up this paint. Pull it as flat as you can. And get yourself a nice little roll of paint on the edge of your knife. Just come up here. How do we want our mountain and where? I think our mountain lives right around here. Just scratch in. Just like so. Just block in that basic color and scratch out the extra. You don't need much paint when doing this. So I'm just loading up my palette knife, thinking where I want to hit, where I want some bumps, where I want it smooth. And you can probably hear how hard I'm scratching off the canvas with the palette knife. You can probably hear how much paint I'm scraping off. You need little amounts of paint on here. And if you don't want to waste it, just put that paint back on your palette. But just like so. Because the next step, it's no pressure. So right here, you gotta be able to take out, first you blend out the paint, but after that, you have to have basically no pressure. Let's go ahead, let me grab a 1-inch brush. Smaller and easier to control. And just pull that paint, blend it out. Just to get that nice soft look. Just like so. Just pull it and blend it out. I need to practice more on my mountains, but I'll get there to a professional level. I think I'm at a good level when it comes to mountains, but I could be doing better. Now, as you can see, we have our mountain peaks going on there. Let's go ahead. Let's highlight this mountain. So, I'm going to put that pile of paint and I'm going to go for some dark sienna. I'm going to make an interesting mountain today. Dark sienna. Maybe a little bit of Van Dyke brown just to tone it down. Leave it marbled though. That marbled color, how much it'll help. Okay, cut a roll. And you get that little roll of paint on the edge of your knife. Come up here. And now I'm going to just pull down a bit. Just lightly. Kind of follow the angles. And I'm going to save the last two. The last two spots, I'm going to save. Okay. Now, let's put in our shadows. So, for shadows, I mix my base color with my highlight color just to get a color in between. Shoot. Got a bit too dark on me, so just adding a bit more white. Cut a roll. Let's come up here. Just lightly. Just lightly. You can pull some in. You can overdo this in a second. Clean your knife. Now, let's come up here. Let's get titanium white paint. Pull across and get your roll of paint. Let's come up here, and I think over here there's some snow covering it. Have a delicate handle. See, this one broke better than my whites. I feel like the white, since it shows up more, it's trying to betray me on camera. Trying to make me look bad. It's okay. But kind of give it that rounded shape. Just something like so. Shoot. If you want to, something I'm going to do, I'm gonna grab a little bit of that base color and plop in a little like peak on top of that snow covered area. You'll see on the camera, hopefully. Let's come up here, let's smoothen out that base. Now, let's go over here. Maybe I want to lift that up a bit more. There we go. Now let's get ourselves some shadows going on. So the base color, titanium white, and I'm gonna add the slightest touch of phthalo blue. Phthalo blue, ooh, it'll change up your color quick, so you gotta be careful how much you use. It'll eat up your color in an instant. Now, let's come up here. Notice how the paint breaks better. But when I have that white color, it wants to look bad on camera. It's okay. And just pull out a little bit. Very gentle. Just a little bit. Same thing for the other side. Okay. A little bit over here. I think it's not doing it justice having it that way. I think it needs more shadow. So I'm gonna mix up more of that paint color. Ooh, that was way too much blue. At least I caught myself in the tracks. I still put too much blue. There we go. Grade it out a bit more. And some white. And just get it going, really. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay. Let me wipe my knife off. And let's go back into titanium white and sort of pick out these spots back up. Okay, just like so. Okay, and I think with that we have our mountain. I'm gonna grab the 1-inch brush that I use for the mountain and just tap, just to create the illusion of some mist. I don't think I've ever done this type of mountain on camera, so there's a first for everything. Blend it out just slightly. Okay, let's come up here. Let me clean up a spot on my palette. I got all the browns and base colors and all that. I don't need it on my palette for now. Okay, I'm going to go into some ivory black, some sap green, a little bit more sap green. Let's come up here with the 2-inch brush that I used to paint the blue portion of the sky. Let's tap some paint into that brush. And let's come up here, just tap maybe what seems to be some land. And just like so. Oh, I just got a good idea. So we'll come back to, oh no, if we come back to that, it's gonna be worse. Okay, I'm gonna paint it right now. So let's go ahead, let's grab ourselves a good old 2-inch brush. Let me go into sap green and cadmium yellow. Let's come up here. Let me actually add a little touch of the liquid white just to thin it out a bit. Let's come up here. I think it needs more paint on the brush. So I just, oh yeah, much better. Okay, so as you can see, just tap. That's all you gotta do. There's gonna be something in the forest, so I'm not really focusing much on the details. So just push on some grass. You can pull almost straight cadmium yellow and have a few little spots where it's like an extra highlight. Shoot, but I want it to be soft. I don't want it to have much detail. Now, going back to my idea, let's go ahead. Let's pull out the base color that we used. Let's plop it over here and let's add sap green to that. Shoot, let's add a little bit of cadmium yellow too. Just get a good amount of paint going on. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm not going to use a number 3. I'm going to use a number 6 fan brush. Load up your brush. Full with paint. Both sides. As you can see here. Now let's come up here. And I want some distant little trees. And I bought this brush off eBay because it was a vintage brush and it's not the best brush. It doesn't have the best spring to it. But you learn how to work with your brushes. Having a good brush helps, but it won't define you. Unless you have like cheap brushes, that's a good way to start. But you'll notice a difference. So just tap on a few. Just like so. Let's come up here, lightly pull up, just so you can get those nice sharp points. and just block off the base. Just a little bit. Just pull up. Now, we got to here. Let's put in some land out here. So just tap your brush and maybe it comes out to here. Maybe like so. Just tap. And just pull off a little bit. You can scrub it on. Just scrub. There you go. And what the heck? Let's go ahead. Let's put in a little island. See, things change. First, it was gonna be a little pond here, and then turned into a bigger pond. So, you might say something at one point and then change it up completely. So, don't feel like you did something wrong if you changed it too much, or if you feel like you changed it too much. You didn't. It's just your mind telling you, that's not what I want. I want this. Now, I want this bright yellow color. Maybe a little bit of green here and there. But for the most part, I want this vibrant yellow. Little bit green, but I'm telling you, mostly yellow. So I'm just loading up tons of cadmium yellow onto my brush. Let's come up here. I'm working on my studio. That's why I haven't been indoors anymore. But hopefully everything will be ready by season 9. So we can start off that season the right way. So just load up paint on your brush and just tap it. Tap, tap, tap. 23 minutes. Let's get some over here. Pull some of that. Reflect it. Go across slightly. Lightly go across. Now, let's go ahead to that base color we're using. Let's add Van Dyke Brown. Cut a roll. Let's come up here. Just slide on a few little indications of dirt. Just here and there. Just like so. And maybe like that. Let's add some white to our brown color. And let's add some dark sienna to it. Cut a roll. Let's come up here. Very gentle. Gentle, gentle. Just think about it like if you're painting your mountain. You need no pressure for this. Okay. Now, let's go ahead. Let's add in a few water lines. Let me clean off my knife. Let me pull out some titanium white. Cut it all. And just a few. You can scrub them in a bit if you don't like the way they look. But I just want a few water lines. And to me, this is a few. Some people might say that's too many. And that's okay. You can put less water lines. Okay? Just gonna scrub them in. So it looks like the line's a bit more thinner. Just like so. Okay? And last thing before I sign off, I know this is gonna take a little bit of time, but hang in there with me, please. I want an evergreen tree. So with the corner of your fan brush, and just flip it back and forth. Okay, load up a bit more. Just like so. Think it comes off all the way to the bottom. It's a little crooked, but that's the beauty of that evergreen tree. Yo, dark green, and just highlight it. I like to tell people it's like tracing the tree. You're just using a different color this time. Because people say, well, is it a different tag you have to do? No, just like tracing the tree you painted, just with a different color. And I hope I'm able to help you guys uh, understand the way I do stuff, so you guys could follow along. Little tree trunk. And I thank you guys for joining me in today's video. If you want to see this, go ahead. Just covering up a few little stems. I want this hidden. I thank you guys for joining me in today's video. Today was a simple painting. I had no clue what I was going to paint, but I came up with the painting. I really hope you try this painting out. It's nice, fun, and interesting. Great painting to give away. I'd like to wish each and every one of you the best of luck, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care, my friend. Goodbye.